Alright guys, we're here back at the Airstream. We still haven't named her. Once we name her, we'll just call her by her name because she's amazing.
Come on, sing at my door.
Come and knock at my door.
Come and knock on my door.
Come and sing at my door.
I don't know any words to any songs.
Today we are taking out basically all of this stuff. It is a little bit later in the day because we just got off work. I think it's
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock. So we probably have about an hour that we can actually work. We're gonna try to get as much of this done as we can and as much of this done as we can. That way this weekend, the Airstream is gutted and we can start popping out the skins and taking out the insulation.
We may already ask this by the time we post this, but is this our gray and black water tank, or is this only a black water tank? Can someone help me out with that? I know there's a clean water, fresh water tank under here.
I think it's only the gray water tank.
Black.
Black, sorry. I think it's only the black water because the toilet was on top of it. I think the gray water is underneath, so the sink can also flow to the gray water tank. And the sink in the bathroom. So, but if y'all could clarify, give us a little input, that'd be great. So that's our plan for today. We'll see how far we get. Hopefully this week after work, we can go ahead and get everything out and then start our big project this weekend. A little nervous, a little excited. It's gonna be fun.
We're getting our CHL this weekend.
Oh, we are getting our CHL this weekend. So we'll be working on it either before or after that, or both, and Sunday. So,
cool. Yep. Let's get started. Okay, so this right here says it is the converter charger. I know what converters do, but I don't know exactly what a 1973 converter does. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and just unplug these two wires going into it, one to the positive side hopefully, and then this other negative side, disconnect that, and then we're basically gonna be removing this. It's got some fuses in here, obviously it's a converter, and an outlet there. We also found a dog bone down there, and that's pretty funny. But
you can't see it. It's weighted. Oh, there it is. There it is.
As I mentioned, we will be replacing this hose line. That's for the fresh water. We're gonna take this out, and then we're gonna take this furnace out. Furnace? So is that the heater? I didn't know it had a separate heating furnace. Interesting. And then I thought there was a water filter of some sort over here. Yeah, maybe that's the water filter. Fresh water filter going to the sink, maybe? That would make sense. Anyways, it's about to come out. I just want to know what everything is before I take it out. Alright. Converter, TU750-6 converter. Furnace, which makes sense because it's got heating vents. And then what I assume to be a water filter. Yep, water purifier. Cool. Ripping it out. Alright. Let's do this. That would suck though.
Where's the screwdriver? What the crap? Ah! Finally. That was easy.
Camera off. Quick video of this. Car battery, blue, trailer battery, red, which was right here. That's trailer battery. Blue's coming from here. Circuit 1, purple. Circuit 2, yellow. Circuit 3, pink. Circuit 4, brown. Then we have power on, which is this little guy right here. White is, what does it say under there? Something white. Load. Load is white. Ammeter red. Ammeter black. Go ahead and take all those off, and then take this out. Alright, let's pull that panel off, see what we got behind it. First panel's coming off. Big moment.
I think it's...
Think it's screwed on? that's not too bad.
It's not great, but...
Not bad at all. I mean, for being as old as it is.
Whoever owned this Airstream had a dog, and there's dog hair everywhere.
Now, I did expect to see a couple little mouse tunnels like that, but nothing crazy.
Oh, the little mice.
Yep, see the little one on the bottom too?
Uh-huh.
There's probably a shit ton of those running around, and that's why most of the people replace all this stuff. But we needed to check that wiring anyways, because it's not working. So, yeah, there we go.
First panel out.
You want to pull that out just because? Just want that?
The insulation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have a place to put it?
We'll throw it away. We'll put it outside and throw it away.
Okay.
Nice and shiny. That's what's so cool. Is that this whole thing is going to be shiny when we take all that out.
There it is.
First one. We're not going to get crazy today. We'll have to bring the shop back too, obviously. Clean everything up. But this whole interior is going to look like that pretty soon.
Is that rust okay?
Yeah, it's just some surface rust that we'll just kind of grind down and maybe paint a little bit. But there's going to be some water back there anyway, so. Back to work on this. Got the water pump right there about to come off. Then we'll get this furnace out. Shay's getting the last couple screws off for what I believe. I think that's the battery box, which would make sense because the battery would run straight to the inverter. That would make really good sense. I'm surprised it's so thin though for a battery, but I'm sure it was only one. And then the water pump actually ran over there. That's out. We got the furnace out now. We did find a soft spot right there. No worries, we'll patch that. We're gonna have to run new water lines underneath here, but we knew that. And then I assume they kick out somewhere over here and they go straight to this water heater. So the water heater had a line going from here over that corner and then two lines coming over here, crossing over into the sink and going there. So what I'm thinking is if the water's down here, and I'm just guessing here, if this is the water will pull water, go to the heater, go into the heater and then out into the different lines. Obviously run over to the sink, but everything else is over here. I'm not a plumber, but we're gonna have to figure this out. We'll make it work. I wonder why that line goes to the back. Either way, pulling this out next. And then gonna take a look at this whole crapper over here. And that was the end of that. I really don't know what happened to the footage after that. I thought we had recorded more and had a closure, but I guess I either deleted it or something happened. Needless to say, after we finished up that front section, I didn't do too much on the back. A, because I'm not exactly sure how to get the black tank out, and B, we tried taking the water heater out, but then we realized it was gonna leave a big hole in the side of the Airstream, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't want anything getting in and out of there. So I did leave the water heater in there until I could figure out how to get that out without damaging stuff, because it is kind of in a weird niche too, so I'll have to Google that. It is now Friday the 23rd, so we're pretty much at real time. That video was actually a couple weeks ago before we actually went and got a license to carry class and did some other things. In the meantime, since then, we've talked to a few people now who've actually recommended to us not to take all of the panels out and get into that mess, but instead take out just some of the panels underneath the leaking windows and focus on the leaks in the windows and the doors first and then go from there. So that's kind of the route we're going to take. So we did a quick little timeout and we stopped what we were doing as far as just removing everything all at once and getting into that kind of big mess. We've ordered the weather stripping and the sealant for around the weather stripping and for the windows and the doors. Got that in order. It should be here early next week. And then we've also what we're gonna do is take off the panels, all the panels below the windows, and start with that first. Basically get that insulation out first, check everything where it's at, and then go from there. So that's kind of our next step. Now I am going to Moab, not next week, but the week after. So we're gonna be down a week. However, we're gonna be hitting it up pretty good, especially after I get back from Moab. So all this stuff will come in next week. I'll try and get some footage of a couple, at least 1 or 2 videos out next week before I go on the trip, and then go from there. Our timeline for the build has actually moved up. We were thinking we'd have more time, maybe next year into that sort of time frame and go from there. However, we have some news that we're gonna be announcing in probably May when things are more firm, because we wanna wait for everything to be firm, and I'm gonna announce it then. Sorry about it. I hate doing teasers and stuff like that, but we don't like to post stuff until it's actually confirmed. But that is moving our timeline up to closer to the end of the year now. So things are kind of streamlined a lot, which is good for you guys because you'll get to see a lot more footage. Bad for us because now I have to come up with funds a little bit more quickly and come up with a faster timeline to make this all work out. So it's gonna be very busy spring, summer, and fall. So be excited about that because we're gonna film and keep the progress coming. But I did just kind of want to mention on why things have slowed down just a little bit, because we have last 2 weeks have been jam-packed. We have a lot of big things that we're trying to plan out and just kind of configure at this point, which is good. It's always good stuff. Well, I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So thank you guys all for watching. Thank you all for the advice. The biggest things right now that I need to figure out is, as I mentioned, we're doing the window stripping, weather stripping, and the door stripping, and then we're gonna do the panels underneath that, go from there. But the tanks is kind of my biggest concern after that, because I wanna take the black tank out. I need to figure out how to take that out. And what am I gonna do about gray tank? Do we take a portable gray tank? We're doing the compost toilet, so I need to either replace the black tank with a gray tank or do an external portable gray tank, which I kind of like the idea of just because it'd be a little simpler. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I'm open to suggestions on that. So that's kind of where we're at. As I mentioned, things are really gonna start speeding up once I get back from Moab. So stay tuned, look for that. If you have questions, advice, hit us up in the comments below. Thank you guys again so much. We really appreciate everything. Also, check us out on Instagram if you're not subscribed there, because we do a lot of updates over there as well. I'm on Facebook too, but the best place to reach me is always Instagram in the comments. I try and reply to everybody, or on Facebook if you'd like. Thank you guys again so much. We really, really appreciate it. If you have any ideas, products, or anything you want us to test out, gladly send them our way. We are always open to doing that sort of thing. But thank you guys again. I appreciate that.